Natural disasters are always the top danger, including flash floods. Flash floods often occur in mountainous areas, steep land, where there is soil erosion or deforestation causing severe damage to people and property. Flash floods not only cause flooding, but also sweep away rocks, trees, and can cause dangerous landslides. Now you and I will learn about dangerous flash floods. Let's get started. Dirties, the flash flood happened in a flash. The house was submerged under the terrible floods. A flash flood happened on September 25th in the U.S. Houses were swept away in the middle of the rushing water. It is unbelievable that a steel bridge in China was swept away in the middle of the water. This house drifted on the river after a flash flood last night in a small town not far away. It is dangerous to drive at this time, where flash floods swept through the city. Flash floods suddenly hit eastern France, where people were having lunch and didn't have time to move their parked cars. The flood was so terrible that a road in China turned into a river, sweeping away cars. Cars parked outside a hotel couldn't escape the flash flood. Wow, cars are being swept away like balls. The heavy rain that lasted for a long time swept away houses. Luckily, everyone got out. A street in Spain was blocked by a flash flood that swept through the city. A woman was stuck in her car in the floodwaters for hours. Luckily, the rescue team arrived in time. 2 houses in Norway were washed away after the flood last night. As we saw the man filming a roof being torn off during the flood in the U.S. state of California.
Holy. It just ripped it in fucking half.
A pile of rubbish was formed at the foot of the bridge after the flash flood for hours. Fragments of houses, personal belongings, and cars. The cars were moving when a flood suddenly came. The scene was terrifying. The house next to the river was crushed like a cheesecake. A similar flash flood occurred in Nepal. A road was cut off by the flood. The car was like a toy in the floodwater. A house near the river in India was eroded and collapsed after many days of rain and flood. If you want to go to the park to enjoy the scenery, this is not the time to go. A house in Vietnam was swept away by a sudden flood. Although the flash flood has passed, due to the erosion after the flood, the house could not stand. A street corner in Italy turned into a small river after the historic rain on October 20th. Just now, swept away cars. A wooden bridge in China was immediately swept away by the flood. A flash flood swept through a village in the Philippines. The Chinese dam had to release floodwaters after many days of rain. Suddenly, a flash flood swept through, bringing mud and an old car. Luckily, no one was inside. This house was a tourist hotel, but it was destroyed after a flash flood. A house in Finland was swept away on the river. It only stopped when it collided with a bridge. When these cars move without a driver, it is a sign of a huge flash flood. The raging water carries a lot of mud. It's dangerous for bats to go there. This car was swept away immediately when the flood came. The rescue police worked very hard to prevent floods. A street in India. Cars were swept away. This is not a festival. This is the scene of people pushing mud after the flood in Valencia, Spain. Unbelievable water rushed into the house through the window.
Right at us?
A terrible flash flood,
Holy shit, Richard,
carrying
we gotta go.
mud
We gotta go
and
up.
trees.